You may have watched my previous video when I answered the question, is it okay to have sex the night before a race or a high profile workout? And if you listen to that very closely, you notice that I said we need to run it through your own personal litmus test. When we're looking at whether or not you should drink beer or have an adult beverage the night before an event, I once again am going to encourage you to do some field testing on your own. What I don't want you to do is just kind of be in a mindset of being absolute yes or absolute no, because you need to find out what works for you. It's the most important component. Just because a textbook says yes on something or a textbook says no on something, you need to try it. So what I would encourage you to do is stop and think about the last time you had an adult beverage and the next day you raced. Maybe it was just a low profile race and it really didn't seem like it was going to matter to you. You're just hanging out with your friends. So you're thinking, hey, I'm going to have a pizza and a beer. And you went out and you performed extremely well. I think you have the answer to your question, because your body doesn't know if it's Monday or Saturday. It doesn't know if it's in this zip code or this zip code. What it does know is it knows consistency. Especially for those of you that have been following me for a while and you're racing at intensity zones that you know what the ranges are, because that's what we call putting the food through the intensity test. When you consume beer and eat pizza the night before, and then you go out and you race, and you know what your intensity is, especially given the duration and the temperature, all of those variables affect the way you're able to perform. So we have to back the evaluation up and say, well, what did you eat last night? What did you eat for breakfast this morning? Just like I said about the subject about being amorous the night before an event, test it. Let's say that you have a race coming up this upcoming weekend, or maybe just a high profile practice session. Eat and document everything that you do. Let's just say we're going to do it. Document on Thursday everything that you normally eat. On Friday, eat all of that. And then maybe for dinner, have pizza and a beer. I'm just using it as a hypothetical. And then see what your results look like on Saturday. Then go ahead, maybe the next week, eat the same foods on Thursday, eat the same foods on Friday, and don't have the adult beverages. Go ahead and have the pizza, but don't have the adult beverages, and see how you perform. Because unless there's a significant performance increase, I'm talking like significant, then you realize, hey, your body is accepting the adult beverage and the pizza, and you're performing well. Now again, I know there's going to be some people that are going to be very, very extreme and say, oh, I cannot believe Rob is advocating that. I'm only advocating it because I've been doing this for 37 years at the time of this recording, and I've seen people have tremendous results having what's considered by mainstream, or by textbook, something that they shouldn't have the night before an event. Please ignore what the so-called experts are saying. Pizza and beer works for you on a particular Thursday night to a Friday to a Saturday. It's going to work on the 1st, it's going to work on the 15th, and it's going to work any other day of the month. It's going to work in any zip code. Now there is one caveat. It's very important that if you're going to have pizza and beer, and I'm just using that as a hypothetical, find whatever items that you really enjoy but people keep telling you shouldn't eat it the night before the event. Make sure that the quality is very consistent. If we're going to go back to the example of pizza and you're going to an authentic Italian restaurant, they're hand making their sauce, which has little sugar, good balance, handmade dough, loaded up with nice high quality vegetables, high quality meats. Try to find that in the next town that you're going to, or maybe bring your own and just reheat it. That's another inside trick that we use with a lot of our clients. Consistency in the food and the food quality, then bump it up against your performance results. So the takeaway from this, just like it was about being amorous, is get away from what people are telling you. Kind of knock that negative canary off your shoulder. Put yourself through the test. Evaluate quality and quantity of food, timing, and then go out and put your athletic test to the measures. Look at average and max heart rate against temperature and humidity and see how you performed. And if you did, it stays. If it didn't work so well, maybe you had some GI, gastrointestinal distress, maybe you didn't sleep good that night, well then you've got your answer, but you don't do it on the back of a high profile event. I tend to be more positive than negative. If it does work really well for you, you enjoyed pizza and beer with your friends and family, and you performed really well the next day, then you know it stays in your portfolio of options. So I hope that helps answer No different than the sensitivity of should you be amorous the night before an event. Looking at foods that are so-called unacceptable the night before, run it through your own test. As always, if you have questions about this or any video that we've put together, please email me and my team, contact@coachrob.com, or feel free to leave a message below. I'll do my best to answer you in both areas. But more importantly, thank you for taking the time to watch these videos, and we will see you again soon.